Alright, I think it's finally time to talk about this. If you don't already know, as of 2023, the blender is considered one of the worst power-ups in the game. And to be perfectly honest, there's no sugarcoating this in my opinion. It is quite literally the worst thing to pick up. For context, when in your inventory, the blender increases the maximum health juice carried from 200 to 300, and when fully healed, will convert forged items into 5 health juice. While this can be good for beginners, since they will most likely be going against players that have a difficult time finishing an engagement, the higher level you are, the more you realize how fast the TTK in this game really is, essentially negating the power-up entirely. So anyways, I wanted to talk about possible ideas on how to rework or completely change the power-up entirely. So anyways, let's get started. Yo, Future Lemoyne here again. I'm loving doing this. It's like, I'm super lazy, so like doing these last minute add-ons are perfect for me. Numbers that I give are just rough ideas of what I think they should be, so take my balancing with a grain of salt and focus more on the ideas I describe. Alright. And I'm gone. After a lot of extensive research and field testing, I thought of 5 ideas. Let's get the easy one out of the way, which will just be going over a general buff. What? I said the power-up was useless, not a bad idea. I would say increase the max health carry from 300 to 375 and increase the amount of forged health by 15 or 18. The increase of max health carry may seem overkill, but there are 2 things you should keep in mind. 1, if you're worried about ring ratting, the snorkel and cup grade are still a lot better in these respects. And 2nd, you have to remember that the TTK in this game is very fast, so most of the time, players may not even be able to take advantage of this buff in the first place. Moreover, with that absurd amount of health you are now able to carry, this could also be more viable in squads, being able to provide more health to your teammates if needed. With those ideas in mind, the blender would be in a considerably better place. At least better where it was before, obviously. However, this does not tackle the overall reason why this power-up is terrible in the first place. Moving forward, I think it's a good idea to analyze the role of this power-up. In my opinion, this power-up's main role is to encourage players to take more fights with the idea that given how much extra health they have, players do not have to worry too much about taking hits. But like I said earlier, having more health stored doesn't really matter when the TTK in this game is so fast, especially since most weapons take down people in 2 to 4 shots. So I figured out some ways to not only allow the power-ups to complete this task better, but also allow them to be more fun. The first one may be controversial and overpowered on paper, but I believe it would be pretty balanced when actually used, which would be the ability to auto-regen after a certain amount of time. This idea was inspired by the campfires in games, so the sprite could be a camping kit or some kind of. I like to think of concepts and ideas. I'm not really creative in the art department. I think I'll leave that to the devs. This power-up would not have the buffs of the blender, but would instead use your health juice to automatically regenerate for 2 to 4 health per second. The effect would also not work if you're actively taking damage. A good way to balance this effect would be for it to only start after you have not moved for 2 to 4 seconds. This would encourage players to not only engage fights more, but would also reward them if an opponent cannot chase them down before the effect kicks in. The second one is a lot more tame compared to the last one, which is the ability to heal more per second. And before you say, oh, that's just a cup grade, shh, this ability would work a little bit more differently. First, let's do some math. Woohoo! Normal healing is 4.75 every 0.5 seconds. With the cup grade, it changes to around 6. The reason why the math is not per 1 second is because the health updates every 0.5 seconds and not 1. If it was per every second, it would be 9.5 and 12 respectively. For this power-up, what if we mess with the amount of time it actually takes for your health to update? For instance, instead of 4.75 per half second, this power-up would instead make you heal 18 for 1.5 seconds. This is not the best example, but this is kind of what I'm talking about. Instead of a constant stream of healing, the power-up would instead heal you in big chunks. My inspiration for this power-up was the very idea of a high TTK. Instead of making it longer, how about we make a power-up that has the potential to consistently tank 1 shot, similar to taking 1 shot by only taping once. Now, if you're thinking, isn't this just the banana forker? What are you, a narc? I actually have an issue with the banana forker, so let's just talk about it real quick. In the hands of a good player, it is basically impossible to take them down. Here's a quick clip of what I'm talking about. What I would do is increase the banana health to 40, but players would have to stay still and interact with it for 3.5 seconds, similar to reviving. This would reward players to use and find good positioning efficiently in order to actually use this power-up, instead of being all willy-nilly and being able to heal whenever you want. But anyways, I got sidetracked. Here's an Excel of what the health per second should look like compared to the 2 ideas, as well as the cup grade and original healing speed. As you can see, it's somewhat balanced compared to the regular and upgrade speeds, so being overpowered while healing shouldn't be a problem. This power-up, although very weird, don't get me wrong, could be very powerful in the hands of the right person. This next idea would have a max carry buff and would give a slight damage reduction to players. For a general damage reduction, maybe make it 2 to 4%, but in my opinion, this power-up would work a lot better if the reduction was scaled based off the weapon you got hit with. So weapons like the SMG or pistols won't be affected too hard. This power-up would change the TTK, but in my opinion, not enough to make a substantial change to the game. It would be just enough where the how the fuck did I win that? Or I should not have won that would be slightly more common. That was a stupid bit. Here's an example. Shit! Slammed! Let's fucking go! Yes! This last one isn't my original idea and completely changes the role of the power-up, but I thought it'd be fun to talk about regardless. This power-up would change the way you would interact with forged items in the game, being able to give you different buffs depending on what you eat, and would also allow you to store them in your inventory. For balancing, you would only be able to have one of these buffs at a time to prevent stacking. Moreover, the max amount of forged items you would have would depend God damn it. Alright, let's do that again. For balancing, you would only be able to have one of these buffs at a time to prevent stacking. Moreover, the max amount of forged items you would be able to carry would be different depending on the item. I'm not going to go too much in depth since there's so many forged items, so here are some ideas I had in mind. Heal shrooms would give you passive regen, similar to the dart gun. Poison shrooms would give you similar effects to the snorkel. Speed shrooms would give you a slight speed buff similar to the ninja booties. And coconuts would be either the same buff as the heal shrooms or give you a slight damage reduction. However, eating these would also make you slightly slower. Obviously, for balancing, the buffs would be a lot smaller compared to the actual buffs I related them to, but I hope you know what I'm getting at here. This power would not only make forged items more interactive, but would also make a great excuse for the devs to add more of them with their own unique buffs. The idea of forged items spread across the map is really cool in my opinion, and it'd be really awesome if they added more. I could honestly talk about the blender for hours, but I feel like this should be enough for you to really see the potential of the blender and its role. Healing is really important in this game, so why not make a power-up that makes it so? But anyways, that's the end of the video. As per usual, I'll leave— oh wait, shit. The codes. Yeah. Alright, giveaway. Let's go. So, last week I did a raffle for the Pinata Donkey skin. I gave you guys a week, and you guys did do it. I think there were 7 comments, which is pretty cool. Here are the winners of that event. I will figure out a way to privately DM you, but for now, congratulations to all of you. Now that's the end of the video. As per usual, I'll leave some clips with some audio. Enjoy. About it. Think about it, that's what animation is. Weighing break. He's dead. I'm alive. Oh, you better run soon, girl. I don't even know if you're a girl. I just said that. It's like habit. Whatever you identify as. Ow! Oh my god, this is gonna be so fucking cool. Narnia! Hold on. That's an exact replica. That is an exact replica. Okay, look at my stream. Hold on. Let me get it out real quick. Let me get it out. Look. That's literally it. That's literally it. All right. For the company. For the company. For the quota. What are you doing? No! Stop! Stop! Fuck! That might be the same guy I saw earlier. Nice shot. Called it.